Okay, hi. Good evening, everybody. So we'll just wait 5 minutes for the candidates to join. Meanwhile, candidates who have joined, in case if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I'm very excited to present this and answer all your questions. So I was preparing all day for this. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes to receive a few candidates. All right. Okay, so the work from home is actually all about waiting, sitting, working, not going out. Might be boring for a lot of people, but people started concentrating on a lot of personal things during work from home. I've seen friends learning musical instruments. They've done things that they always dreamt, which they never could get time to learn. But now, actually, the pandemic has given them time to do something that they've always dreamt of doing something, right? So I'll just give it a couple of minutes for all the candidates to join. So sharp 7:05, we should get started. Presentation, just knowing the agenda. So meanwhile, I'd like to get to know the participants. So just to briefly explain about my profile. So I've been working at Edureka from past 6 years now, and I've learned a lot of things over the period of 6 years. So I actually come from BSc computers background. So when I was doing BSc, I never knew the importance of these programming languages and Unix, Linux that they were teaching us in the semesters. I never gave it a thought that these things will be so important right after we complete the graduation, and then when we get into the industry actually. So until unless I've joined Edureka, I was not knowing the importance of technologies and programming languages. But I should tell you that Edureka taught me a lot of things, right? So I kept on learning a lot of technologies, at least knowing them from a know-how prospect, and then just getting to understand these technologies better. So here I am right now. Like, I spent enough time with cloud computing, DevOps, big data technologies, which helped me to gain a good amount of knowledge. So I'm excited to share that. So that is about my profile, and we have this program which is pretty good. And I've spoken to a lot of learners who are interested in this program. I've counseled them coming from different backgrounds. They were initially scared, should I go with cloud computing or should I go with something else, or if I go with cloud computing, how this is going to help my profile. Like, people already carrying some experience and freshers who want to kickstart their career into cloud computing, they initially have a lot of questions, so they need a proper counseling. So Edureka gave me this opportunity to talk to a lot of candidates and counsel them. So when I talked to them, I've understood a lot of inputs, like how do people think about before starting a technology or getting into a new transition. So I'm excited. Like, I want to share all the knowledge that I've gained around cloud computing. So just one more minute, 7:05. I think we should start the session. All right, guys, let's start. Let's start with the presentation. So the agenda of today's session would be this. So we would like you guys to know what is cloud computing and why we should go for cloud computing and what are the benefits of cloud computing and who all can choose cloud computing as a career option and what companies are hiring cloud professionals. And then we bring all the information, come to a conclusion that yes, cloud computing is the right technology to learn. And then there comes a question where we should learn it and what program should I take. Then I will introduce you our program and then let you guys believe that yes, this is the right program because we have some extra benefits coming through this program. Then I will take all your question and answers. All right, so this is the agenda. In case if you guys have any questions, please do ask me before we get started. Your question and answers. All right, so this is the agenda. In case if you guys have any questions, please do ask. All right, so let's go to the next slide, learning about what is cloud computing. So a lot of people have different definitions to cloud computing. So I've asked 5 random people what is cloud computing. All the 5 people gave me different answers. But then when I've searched, so back in 2017 when I was learning cloud computing, I've searched everywhere. But then one definition which caught me, even a layman can understand. So which is when I went to the Microsoft Azure page, they've given a very simple definition to cloud computing. So cloud computing is nothing but the delivery of computing services including servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligent systems hosting over the internet, which is nothing but the cloud, right? So this will make your business scale, flexible, and then you can come up with a lot of new innovations within no time. So you typically pay only for cloud services. You don't have to invest on managing all these services or set up all these services. So that's the best part of cloud computing. It's just nothing but a delivery of providing computing services. So when I say computing, is nothing but a series of computer operations happening at the same time. So this is cloud computing, right? So why we should go with cloud computing? So I would like to take a quick use case here. So back in 2000, early 2010 and 2000, right? So a lot of companies, telecommunication companies, database management companies, and big firms, so they used to have traditional databases, physical servers, physical database systems. They used to spend a lot of money on these traditional database systems, communication servers, and so on. In spite of spending so much money, they were never at peace. So there used to be a lot of maintenance cost and there will always be chaos. So if the server goes down, you need to quickly send out an engineer to pick that up, and then it should back online. It should come back online. Only then your application is running fine. Only then your website is running fine. But now we don't have all that hassle. Cloud computing made it easy for us. So let's take a quick example here. Let's say you have started a new company. You've opened up Instagram. So when you've opened Instagram, you would have definitely not known that your application will be so popular. So you might have built this application for X amount of users, okay? And then you bought all the servers, you bought all the relative databases to maintain this particular application, and then you went live, right? You've spent enough money, you've bought all the buyer servers, and then you've got everything ready. The moment you went online, what if your application became popular overnight, right? So you have X amount of databases, you have X amount of communication servers, you have X amount of hosting servers in place. So what if you have to double them overnight? Until unless you set this infrastructure, your application is not working, your application is down, your users are facing issues, your application is loading, and then this sets a very wrong user expectation and experience, right? So people wouldn't like to come back to Instagram and start using it again, right? So how do these companies are solving all those problems? This is like, despite spending too much money, there is no peace in their life. All the applications, there is a heavy websites that we have like Flipkart and Amazon. So what if they have to go with internal physical databases, physical servers, and physical hosting systems, right? It will create chaos, and this is a hassle-full work for them. So that's exactly cloud computing came into picture. Cloud computing said, hey buddy, I have a stock of servers in my warehouse, why don't you use them? And when you have to use them, you don't have to pay me for the entire setup. You just pay me rent as in when you use them, right? But what options I'm giving you? So the options that I'm giving you is, first one is cost effective, and my servers are elastic and scalable compared to your internal servers and physical servers, and they come with flexibility, and security is top notch. You cannot get any better security than using my cloud computing servers. Now let me give you an example. So if I have to go and invest on coming up with Instagram, if I'm founding Instagram, let's say I have spent 10 crores on buying the servers, and then I've hosted my application on these servers, and then I've installed these servers in different locations. And what if, due to a natural calamity, one of my server went low? So people around that proximity cannot definitely view or access my application. But what cloud computing does, so cloud computing provide you servers which will predict that there is a calamity, and then it tend to pass on the information to the server which is in near to the server which is going down, right? So if even the servers of cloud computing, the way they have programmed it, if the servers can know that the load balance on a particular server is going high, it will immediately route the information to the next immediate available server to make sure the process is up and running and it never goes down. And the best thing with cloud computing that I like is it comes with auto elasticity. So this means that the more you eat, the bigger you become, right? Cloud computing says, so it's just a quick example that I would like to go back. So the question here is, what if your application becomes famous overnight? So where would you go? How would you set up all the infrastructure, double the infrastructure again overnight? But what cloud computing does here, it says, buddy, you don't have to worry. So my servers comes with auto elasticity. The more users you give me, the better experience my servers will give you, and your application will never go down if you host your application onto cloud computing, right? So that's the best part about cloud computing. So a lot of companies, I've seen big companies to small scale industries, everybody, even in fact Edureka being one of the top online training providers, we also use cloud computing services, right? So when it comes to cloud computing, there are multiple cloud services available in the market, as you already know. There is AWS, there is Azure, and then there is Google Cloud. So Google Cloud won't give it for rent. Only Azure and AWS will provide their services for rent. All right. And the next thing that we have is, we have Salesforce Cloud, we have Alibaba Cloud, we have IBM Bluemix, we have different cloud services available. But then if you have to opt for any of these services, you only get two in the market, which is AWS and Azure, right? So that is the importance of cloud computing. And I'll give you another example. So just to make it easy and better for everybody to agree on to something, that yes, cloud computing is a very important service that every company should have. Let's say, for an example, let's take Edureka as an example. Now Edureka has a lot of information related to customers, courses, and we have a lot of presentation as a course material. We have a lot of recordings that we keep on taking. These are the live webinars. And what if I have to store all this into a traditional database like a NoSQL database or a SQL database, right? And I have created a NoSQL database and I have invested enough money for that. And what if that database is crashed or maybe hacked by somebody? Or what if that database, the maintenance cost is going 2x than what I've thought, right? So this is all hassleful work. What if I put it on the cloud computing by taking Azure or AWS? I can be stress free. So I can host my applications and all my databases. I can integrate my database to cloud computing and then be happy that I only pay as I use them. And then it comes with cost effective, it is scalable, my business is up and running and it never goes down. It gives me flexible options and the security is 100%, right? So this is how cloud computing is very important. And then we are here, like a lot of students ask me this question, right? So why cloud computing? Like, why not traditional databases? So here is my example. So you go with traditional databases, it's a hassle-full work. You go with cloud computing, it's hassle-free. So how many of you I've seen a lot of people in this particular generation, right? In this era, I've seen people liking to rent things rather than buying things, right? If you buy, you have to invest a lot of money, and then you have to take care of maintenance. If something goes wrong, it's like a loss for you. But when you take it for rent, it's cost effective. You don't get to maintain that, you get maintenance free. And then if something happens, you give it back, and then you get at least some part of your money back, and then you only pay them as in when you use them, right? So that's one of the good services. I should say that Amazon Web Services has come up with a brilliant idea, because they are the entrepreneurs in cloud computing. So the idea that they've come up with, that providing these services as rent, or maybe taking these services to the industry and help them with this hassleful process that they are facing, is a brilliant idea, is what I feel. So we all should thank Amazon Web Services for that. Now we should also thank Azure for coming up with their infrastructure to go online and then use it as a cloud computing service, right? So let's talk about who all should go for cloud computing. So do you guys have any questions here? So far we've just talked about why cloud computing, why should we go for cloud computing. In case if you have any questions, quickly put it in the chat window, let me answer, or we will complete all the slides and then go to the final slide, and then I'll answer all your questions one shot. Okay, now let's talk about who all can go for it. Now here comes the big question. Now I know that there is a technology which is in demand, the industry is using big time, but do I get to select this? Am I eligible to go for cloud computing? What happens to my previous experience? I'm a fresher, I come with no programming background. Can I really learn cloud computing? Will I get a job after learning cloud computing? Where should I learn? There are a lot of questions, and if you're one of them who is struggling to make this decision, now this is an important slide. In this and the next couple of slides that I will take you guys through is a very important piece of information, right? So whenever I talk about technology, I classify that technology into two parts. One is people coming from relevant experience learning it, people coming from irrelevant experience learning it. Now let's talk about people coming from relevant experience learning it. If you ask me, who is the most eligible professional to learn cloud computing, my answer is here. So people coming from database administration background, system administration background, IT support engineers, IT engineers, server engineers, network engineers, and people coming from development backgrounds are all the most eligible professionals to learn and upskill themselves with cloud computing to get better opportunities. This is one category. Now within the same, people coming from relevant, there is another category which is experienced and freshers. Now I'm a fresher, I've just completed my graduation. Now how do I make career into cloud computing? It's very simple. I just have to learn cloud computing, add the skill set to my profile, and make a very good resume that I've completed my graduation in BE or BTech, and I've done multiple projects in cloud computing. That is something you will get to work on through the training, right? You just have to learn cloud computing, add it to your profile. But when you have to add cloud computing to your profile, this is my personal message to all the freshers who want to kickstart their career into any technology. My personal message is, you do not get into IT industry just with the know-how knowledge. No, theoretical knowledge has nothing to do with getting a job. You have to get hands-on knowledge. You need to have enough hands-on knowledge to get a job. I'm pretty sure all of you know how the interview pattern is when it comes to IT industry. After the first two rounds, the third round is what decides whether you get a job or not. And this is all about, they give you a problem statement or a use case, they want you to solve it, only then you are through the final discussion, right? So you don't have enough hands-on, getting a job becomes easy for you. But getting hands-on will automatically give you confidence that I know the knowledge. Even if I don't get the job, I can work on a lot of individual projects, a lot of freelancing projects, right? So this is my personal suggestion to all the freshers. Just don't learn the technology as a know-how knowledge, right? You need to learn the technology from the hands-on perspective. You should know everything and anything related to that technology. Even if you pick up one piece, right? Even if you just take one piece of the technology, not the entire thing. You don't have to learn development, administration, sysops, and then the DevOps engineer, nothing. Let's say you are only going for solution architect, right? Learn everything, anything related to that particular technology. That's my personal suggestion, because I've seen people who want to learn multiple technologies but end up getting hands-on knowledge on nothing. But they know about the technology, they can explain it better, but they cannot put it in hands-on. So that will not work out in the current era. You need to have better hands-on. And so the first 2 points that I'm talking about are related to relevant people learning any technology. Let it be cloud computing. So people coming from relevant experience going for cloud computing. So what happens if a relevant professional learns a technology and then want to make a career, upskill into another technology? The first thing is, you will be preferred by companies. Let's say if I am a Java developer and I want to become a Python developer, right? So companies will definitely prefer my previous experience. They give me a very good salary hike, and they also know that I come from a programming language and I can deal with Python in any other way. Let's say I'm a system administrator and I want to become a database administrator. That's a relevant profile. That's upskilling from one profile within the same stream, from one profile to another profile, right? So I'm a support engineer and I want to become a network engineer. That's upskilling, right? So relevant people. So what happens when you do this, your previous experience will be considered. You can expect a very quick salary hike when relevant people learning cloud computing. And cloud computing is one of the technologies which is paying very good salary packages right after artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? After data science and AI people getting paid, the second place goes to cloud computing. Okay, so freshers, however, they will have enough slots in the industry, and this is one of their fears too. Like the questions that a lot of freshers that I've spoken to have asked me, that I'm a fresher, will I get a job? Then I used to ask them a back question. Let's say if there is a MNC hiring 50, rolled out of 50 openings for cloud computing, let's say. So how many freshers do you think they will hire? How many team leads and projects managers do you think they will hire? The opportunities for experienced people are very handful, but the number of opportunities rolled out for freshers are almost more than 60 to 70% in the industry. So do not worry, you will have your slots. All you have to do is just learn the technology, get good amount of hands-on, right? So the second category, what happens if irrelevant professionals learn cloud computing? So if I have to give you an example, let's say for an example, I'm a manual tester, right? I'm a manual tester and I want to become a system administrator. There is nowhere a match, like a manual tester becoming a system administrator, right? So I'm a release engineer, okay, and I want to learn data analytics. There is no difference or maybe a relation from release engineer to data analytics, right? So people do that sometimes. I've come across people coming from completely off stream profile, want to learn something which is high in the market right now. Now this happens because of 2 to 3 major reasons, what I've expected, what I've experienced so far. One, you might not be happy with the current role that you are in, or maybe you might not happy with the growth that your current designation will give you, or maybe you don't see any kind of traction or maybe growth in the current technology that you are in. Now you want to change it completely. Now you want to get into something which is there in the market and which will be there in the market for next 10 to 15 years, and you want to secure your life and your career into IT industry. This is exactly where I've seen professionals coming from irrelevant background want to learn something which is on demand, right? So people coming from different backgrounds want to learn cloud computing. I've seen people coming from teaching background. I've seen people coming from just different backgrounds, but they want to get into cloud computing and want to understand how cloud computing will help them. So here my message is clear. Two things here. Whenever you make a quantum leap in your career or maybe in your life, first thing is you should be ready for consequences, because it's you who made that decision. Whatever comes your way, you should be ready for it because you made that leap. But you should also be prepared to tackle and handle, right? So even if the industry will consider you as a fresher, it is a matter of six months to 1 year. Go ahead, get that experience, get into the job. But once you get that initial experience, there is no looking back. You will continue with your career, and then you may become a project manager for a cloud computing related project after 2 to 3 years. But the second thing is, some experience is always considered. Maybe you worked in a different stream, but then you worked with projects, you know, client expectations, you've dealt with IT related stream, right? So some experience will definitely be considered, and then you will not be considered as fresher because you've already gained some domain knowledge, you have enough information, you have good hands on the cloud computing. But then when you add it, you automatically start gaining that confidence that yes, now I can do it. But if you start questioning yourself, will it help? Or if you start doubting, like, can I do it? You will only start at the front, or maybe you will stuck yourself at the starting, right? You start in front of, maybe you stand in front of the sea, and then you continuously look at it, it will start looking bigger and scary, right? The moment you start sailing over it, you get to understand that better and you get confidence automatically, right? So that is my suggestion. And trust me, end of the day, what matters is the confidence and the hands-on knowledge that you will get after adding any technology or a programming language to your profile, right? So any questions here, please do save these questions, and I would like to answer these questions at the end of the presentation. But this is a very important piece of information that I want to share with everybody, because this is where people are stuck. Now there comes another problem statement here. Now I come with 1 to 2 years of experience. Now what job profiles that I can fulfill in cloud computing? Maybe I'm already a 5 years guy, I'm a team lead working in network engineering project. Now what will happen to my 5 years experience when I learn cloud computing? I'm already a 10 plus years guy, I'm a project manager for a database management, right? There is a NoSQL database set up in a company, and I'm managing the entire infrastructure. I'm the project manager for that. What happens if I learn cloud computing? Will I be considered as a fresher? Do I have to start from the beginning? If yes, then I'm not ready. So for all these questions, there is only one simple answer. Let's say, for an example, I am a developer and I come with 2 years of development experience. And when I move from Python to Java, or maybe Java to Python, they won't ask me to start from the beginning, right? They know that I already come with development experience, so they carry forward my profile. And then it's just that I carry my profile from one technology to another technology, but the amount of roles and responsibilities, or maybe the way of my work life, is pretty much the same. Like I'm maybe I'm a intermediate IT professional working on Java, but when I move, or maybe when I transit my career from Java to Python, it's going to be pretty much same, maybe with a little bit more salary. But whatever I was doing, I'll be doing the same thing with Python. Like, I may not be using Java. Now this is for a team leads. Let's say I'm a team lead for a network engineering project. When I move to cloud computing, I might become a team lead for a computing related project, right? I am a project manager here, dealing with the database management, complete infrastructure. When I move to cloud computing, I will deal with projects related to cloud computing. Maybe I can become a complete AWS related project in a company, and then I manage the entire product. I talk to the clients, take the requirement, get it done by my team, and deliver back the services, right? So no company will ask you, if you're a team lead, start from an agent. If you are a senior architect, start from an associate architect. No company will ask you to do that. So they know you carry some experience which is relevant, and then you have to carry forward your experience with the new technology that you've learned. Only thing you need to have is good amount of hands-on knowledge with the experience that you already carry will help you win here. So that's a clear message here, guys. Okay, so questions here, definitely these two slides, I want to talk more about these slides and answer better questions at the end. Now, companies that are hiring, so these are some of the companies that I get to put it in the slide, but there are many, right? If I keep on putting, it'll take more than 4 to 5 slides in the presentation, but then I've just put the top companies that are hiring. I've just, the source, I went to Indeed and Naukri, and I got this from Google. I went to Google, typed the top companies that are hiring, and this is what I got. But when I kept on searching and scrolling down, I found a lot of companies hiring cloud computing professionals. Trust me, you could do that too. So after this session, go to Google, type top companies that are hiring cloud professionals. There are different job roles that they are asking: solution architect, sysops, developer, associate architect, cloud engineer, AWS engineer, Azure engineer, GCP engineer, Salesforce cloud engineer. There are many job roles around cloud computing, right? So this is about what is cloud computing, why cloud computing is important, who all should go for it, and what are the companies that are hiring for cloud computing. Now, this is a very peaceful information, and I just want to summarize this information within one statement, that cloud computing is a good technology and it is in very good demand. People should learn it. Enthusiasts who want to get into cloud computing, freshers who want to start their career into cloud computing, and professionals who are working in the relevant and non-relevant fields want to make career in cloud computing should definitely choose cloud computing as one of the career options, right? So I would like to stop the entire discussion around why cloud computing and who all should go for it. Now my next question is, okay, now I made a decision, so I'm clear right now that I have to go with cloud computing. I come with relevant experience, then it's good for me. If I don't come with relevant experience, now I made this decision, I want to get good hands on, and then somehow with that confidence I will get into the industry and I will make sure I am getting this opportunity, right? So where should I learn? Like, which program should I learn? There's AWS in the market, there's Azure in the market, there's Salesforce Cloud in the market. There are so many things in the market. Like, where should I learn? Like, there are so many training providers. There are so many programs in the market. I see almost 4 to 5 people giving me different offerings. Like, where should I learn? Right? So the entire conversation starts here. Like, I will just introduce you to our advanced executive program in cloud computing, given by IIT Kanpur E&ICT Academy in collaboration with Edureka. Now let's talk about you. A lot of people might be wondering, what is this combination? Like, Edureka is an online training provider and IIT Kanpur is a physical university, is one of the renowned university. Where would this collaboration come from? Like, why would this happen? It's a simple explanation. My explanation for this question would be, let's say a lot of people want to get certifications, or maybe they want to do some short term courses, or maybe executive programs, or online PG programs through IIT Kanpur, but they cannot get it because IIT Kanpur is a physical university, right? In case if they have to take all their teaching and then give these certifications online, it's a lot of infrastructure work for them. So complete physical to online, they have to go. They need to train their professors who are teaching through the physical training, has to go online. It's a lot of infrastructure setup for them. What if I collaborate, or maybe I get into partnership with somebody who already has the infrastructure? What if I choose an online training provider who's a renowned online training provider, who's best in the market, and then deliver my certification through them, right? So that's where the entire collaboration starts from. So that's where IIT Kanpur decided that yes, we should go with Edureka. And Edureka being one of the top online training providers, we have trained people from all across the world, right? We've given them enough skills, but now we have decided, how about we should give them also certifications from all these renowned universities, right? It's a mutual great thought. I would say it's a dream project that is coming true, that Edureka and IIT Kanpur coming in together with a good collaboration, with a great collaboration, to give you guys this particular program, right? So we call it an executive program, and there is a lot of value for executive programs abroad, even in India, right? It is slightly different than PG programs that are given, but it is also equivalent. It has the same academic recognition when it comes to PG programs, but it is better than PG programs in other aspects, right? So it will carry forward your profile. It will make your profile better. Let's say I've got 5 people who have been shortlisted in the interview, and I'm Accenture, let's say, and then I have to select 2 of them, and 2 of them are equally skilled. Their hands-on knowledge is better, top notch compared to the other people. And which one of them I should give an opportunity? One guy is just randomly trained in one of the institutes, another guy is a certificate holder by IIT Kanpur and Edureka, right? Without thinking twice, I would prefer the second guy who has this executive certification, right? Why? Because it's a tradition that goes on in India, right? So we have complete confidence and trust onto these universities and online training providers like us, right? So the certification definitely matters. So my suggestion is, so always prefer a good collaboration. Go on to the brand. When you invest on quality stuff, right? So just don't go for, like, I do not have so much money, like I do not want to go for it, let me go for a normal random training institute and let me learn. You will learn, but then if you have to sell your profile at a better cost, you have to get these certifications add it to your profile. So because it's an investment you're doing, like, right? So these are the features and benefits of the program. Let me go by one. So I would like to first talk about the course duration and the number of hours the course goes on for. So the course will give you 450 hours of live uh, learning. This includes close to 150 to 200 online classes. So these classes will be dealt during weekends, Saturday and Sunday, because we understand most of our students are working professionals and they want to spend their life during the weekdays managing their professional work life balance, right? So you can put all your learning requirements towards the end of the week and learn these technologies and courses, right? So the course comes with ease access. This will only happen during Saturday and Sunday. We have 3 hours class on Saturday, 3 hours class on Sunday, and every session is recorded and given to you on the same day. Even if you miss, you get the recording very next day, right? And you also, the course goes on for 9 months. The course duration is 9 months. Every Saturday and Sunday you have 3 hours class, 3 hours class on Sunday, 3 hours class on Saturday. Now somebody might ask me this question: how will it sum up to 450 hours of live learning? Now for that, my answer is, when you learn these technologies, the cloud computing curriculum during Saturday and Sunday, and when you have to practice the same curriculum during the weekdays whenever you have time, you might come across a lot of doubts. Let's say you are working on an assignment, you are stuck somewhere. We are giving you 15 plus assignments and industry grade projects, right? We will give you a lot of use cases. We've gotten some good data sets, right? And so we've got very good real-time use cases picked by our research analyst team, and then I'm pretty sure you will like them. So when you are working on these assignments, what if you're stuck somewhere, you're not able to get the right output, you're trying but then you don't get the right output, right? So immediately you switch on to our 24/7 support. We have an expert support. Three ways you can reach them. So one, you go on to your LMS, which is the internal account that you will get after enrolling, click on support option, raise a ticket. So they have a strict tag within which they have to respond back to your questions, or you send an email, they will respond, or there is there's an on-demand number, you call them, they will answer and your questions are answered. Okay, so maybe this is the question that you have raised is not something which can be answered over an email or a phone call, right? Then you can request for a one-on-one session, right? So one-on-one live interactive session where one of the subject matter expert from our technical support team will take this class and answer all your questions and make sure you will get through the right output. So including all these sessions, mentoring sessions and one-on-one sessions, the total hours of live learning will come up to 40-50 hours. So this is an average we have taken. I've seen sometimes it's more or less below that, or sometimes I've also seen students who have spent more than 500 plus hours of learning also, because these people might come with irrelevant background but spending more time on to learning concepts, which is okay. We are ready to go to any extent to give you a better learning experience. You are unable to get along with the concepts, maybe your half class is getting along with the concepts faster than you are, please, it's okay. Do not worry, we will spend extra time, we will give you one-on-one support to make sure you are learning and coping up with the curriculum. All right, and then we give you advanced cloud lab. So this advanced cloud lab will come with multiple cloud accesses involved in it: Azure, AWS, Salesforce, and whatever the curriculum is covering, right? So usually a lot of students asked me this, that I already have a free tier account with AWS and I also have a free account with Azure. So trust me, whatever we are providing is different than your free tier accounts. So it won't give you customized options. The free accounts won't give you customized options, but wherein the cloud lab access that we are giving, which is pretty much advanced, it will give you customized options, right? A lot of customized options compared to your free accounts. Okay, and you get the entire Edureka access for lifetime. Your class recordings, your presentations, your assignments, your outputs that you've worked on and then got it, right? Your projects and your one-on-one sessions, even they will be recorded and available on your LMS. Maybe there is some extra material has been given to you, presentations, documents, mock interview preparations, everything under one roof. You have LMS access, it is there forever. right? And the final thing that I want to tell you is you get a certification from E&ICT Academy of IIT Kanpur. So IIT Kanpur is one of the renowned universities in the country. You get a certification, program completion certification from IIT Kanpur E&ICT Academy in collaboration with Edureka. Okay, so this itself is more than enough. Like, how expensive do you think is to get a certification from IIT Kanpur? Even if you do a crash course, you might have to spend a good amount of money, right? But here you get a 9 months training, and you get the training from industry experts who are currently working as senior cloud architects and cloud professionals. And then you get 24/7 support, and then you get to work on top assignments and industry grade projects. You get a customized cloud lab access, and you also get a certification from IIT Kanpur. So what not? This is a worthy program, and I ask you guys to check out the program details right after this call, and then reach out to our admission counseling team if you have any questions. Or if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section below. Let me answer that. Okay, so this is the curriculum. I wouldn't want to spend much time on the curriculum because this is available on the website. But if I have to take you through, this is pretty much what we will learn on the curriculum. So when I say curriculum, we don't just cover the theoretical part. Every topic that I've mentioned will have subtopics each, and each topic is covered with an assignment and a hands-on rich experience, right? Nothing is nothing is theoretical here. Everything, I would say, it's 90% practical and just 10% theory, right? So that's how you get hands-on rich professional, because hands-on what matters end of the day, right? So this is the curriculum, and this is how our sample certification looks, right? So you enroll for the program, you complete your 9 months training through weekends, and then you get to work on a lot of assignments and projects. You take 24/7 support team's help, you complete all your projects and assignments, and then there is a final capstone project. As soon as you complete the capstone project, we will give you the certification, which is delivered by IIT Kanpur E&ICT in collaboration with Edureka. And this is how the certification looks. It looks genuine, it looks brand, it carries the brand. The moment you add it to your LinkedIn profile or a resume, the weightage will automatically increases. Trust me, I never got such certifications. It's definitely worth getting such certifications. It's a good investment, I would say. Right? So how do I enroll for the program? So we have a simple admission process. Now before that, if somebody asks me what is the course fee, the program fee is 1,97,000 plus GST. It's just 1,97,000 plus GST, but it might be definitely expensive for candidates who wants to kickstart with their career, freshers or maybe intermediate professionals who've just worked 1 to 2 years. It is definitely expensive, but certainly not to worry. Our admissions team have EMI options, and we won't ask you to pay the entire amount one shot. We have easy EMI options available. You won't even feel the burden that you are paying so much. It's just that you're investing 10 to 15K every month, and then you are through. Okay, but the good thing, in order to make it even more interesting, what we are doing, we are providing you a scholarship up to 30,000. Now, how do I earn that 30,000 of scholarship? It's pretty simple. You have to complete your admission process with complete concentration. You need to register yourself by giving your name, email ID, and your experience details, and go to the IIT Kanpur, fill up a small application form with your experience details, and pay an interview fee of 350 rupees, just 350 rupees, which is completely adjustable in the final program fee. And you will be ready for an interview. So this telephonic interview will be taken by a subject matter expert, so who is already working as a cloud professionals in the market, and then he want to know your objectives from the program. Like, what are you expecting from the program? Can we meet your expectations? And how far you understand the importance of cloud computing, and how far you want to make best out of cloud computing. So this is the sort of conversation you will have in the interview. And when you perform well, when you show your objectives well, then you will get good marks from the interview that will help you to get good amount of scholarship. And we want to help all the students, all the potential students who want to get this scholarship and ease out the overall fee, the burden of paying so much money. We want to help as many candidates as possible. So complete your registration process at the earliest. If you have any questions, please do reach out to our admission counseling team. So the moment you get your scholarship details and then you complete your interview, we will send out an offer letter saying that you have been accepted into the program. And then you can make that decision whether I should enroll now, or maybe whether I should talk to some more SMEs within the program, and then make a decision. We are completely okay, we are ready to spend more time. Even if you want to talk to us even after receiving the offer letter, we are ready to spend that time for you. And the moment you receive offer letter, you might have to pay a down payment varying from 10 to 35,000 on the IITK website directly. Not, no admission process happens on the Edureka page. It's completely genuine. It happens on the live IITK official website, right? So you can't get a better genuine program than this. So you will go to the IITK page, pay your down payment. We will get the details immediately. We will assign you the course access, and there goes your journey with this product, with this program, and with Edureka. Right. So that is about the program, guys. Thank you for attending it. And let me just quickly take the questions. So I'm here on the slide, so quickly give me questions and I'm here to answer. So I got a question from Shabnaz. I'm a software developer looking for a transition into cloud architect. We would love to know how to embark in this journey. Okay, so Shabnaz, like I said, developers, any developer, when you say software developer, you might be a programming developer or an application developer or a website developer, anybody. But the moment you come from a development background, it is a relevant background, and you should get into cloud computing. You should get into AWS developer or an Azure developer or a Google Cloud GCP developer, or you should become a Salesforce cloud developer. Right, there are so many opportunities for developers. Whenever, let's say, I'm a company and I want to take AWS services, in order to set up AWS services as infrastructure in my company, the first person that I will hire is a AWS developer. I need developers even before I will hire any architects. Architect will come later, he will manage the services, but then I need a developer. So there is a huge demand for cloud developers. I've seen Azure developers, AWS developers getting too many opportunities in the industry. So my suggestion is, go for it. You come from a very relevant background, software development, be it anything. You're a programming developer or an app developer or a website developer, front end developer, anything it is. You come from a development background, it is very, very relevant. Just go for it. Can I see the next question? Is cloud computing better than data science? So cloud computing and data science are two different things, right? Maybe they can work together in the future, but they are two different things. So cloud computing is nothing but managing your servers, databases, your applications, your websites on the virtual mode, on the internet, rather than having internal infrastructure. Now, what is data science? Data science is nothing but blending various analytical, machine learning, and AI techniques together to provide solutions to any data driven problems. Like, data can cause multiple problems. You might have to analyze it to get insights from it. Once you have insights, you want to include machine learning to come up with better results. And once you have machine learning and then it is happening at a faster rate, then you might have to include some intelligence so that the system can take care of on its own and you only get to see the results. Right, that is data science. Maybe a lot of data science related projects. Let's say I'm using a high-end algorithm, right? And this algorithm cannot be stored in an internal application. It has to be stored on a cloud. Maybe, such infrastructure, you can host it on cloud computing. You can use one of the AWS services. AWS even provides one of their services, especially for data analytics and machine learning professionals. You can integrate and work together, but they are not related. They can work together, but they are two different things, cloud computing and data science. But which one is better, you ask me? Both are better. You can't have a company without cloud computing and data science. You need to have your data science professionals working using cloud computing, but both are important, I would say. So I wouldn't vote for one of these. My answer is both are important, but it's your decision. You have to decide your way of responsibilities. Now there is a developer and there is a tester and there is an administrator. Now you have to make a decision. Should I, maybe, what catches my interest? Is development interesting to me, or is testing interesting to me, or is administration interesting to me, where I can excel my career into? So that is a very simple decision. So I think it's a easy decision that we can make any day. Definitely. You are working on Azure. I would say you don't have to move to AWS. I think every Azure professional should also know AWS, because you never know which company will ask what. Maybe you are working for a company who's using Azure services. When you move to other company, they might ask you to have AWS services also. Maybe they are using AWS services, your current company, they are not happy with the services provided by Azure and they want to move to AWS, right? So you should learn both, I would say. So don't move from Azure to AWS. Have both skill sets added to your profile. You should know both Azure and AWS, which is why in our curriculum we are covering both. All right, Jayanta, but that's a good question. So I have Sachin. Sachin is asking me, will it be good idea to switch to cloud from Java background? So when you're coming from Java background, then I definitely assume you're a Java developer. So cloud industry needs people coming from programming background, because any infrastructure you have to set up, you need developers. You want developers to build this and give it to the other people so that they can go on with the cloud infrastructure to work on. Or maybe, let's say for an example, the moment developer develops this and give it to administration guy, this guy will do the transition from the infrastructure to cloud. This is done by sysops, and then once sysops is done it, the architect has to maintain it, the architect has to manage the services, right? The first piece of action is with developers, and you coming from Java background, it is definitely a good idea. You should go with cloud computing, but you have to choose either AWS developer or Azure developer, or maybe you can call yourself a cloud developer by learning both. So Shabnas, so fee for the international students, so we don't charge high for the international students, Shabnas. So it's pretty much the same currency conversion. Whatever we are charging in the Indian rupees, we will convert that into your conversion according to the current charges, and then current conversion charges, and we charge the same thing. And even if you have to provide the scholarship, we will provide the same equivalent amount of scholarship within your currency. So a lot of people going in AWS, and AWS cloud platform becoming are going in AWS. So nothing can become saturated here. It's all about the competition, right? When let's say I would compare, if you're from if you're an international student, let's say there is Amazon and there is Walmart, right? So it's about competition. Now Walmart can come up with some new initiatives which will get the traction, and then a lot of people want to try out the new initiatives that Walmart has given. So you might be an Amazon customer, but then just because the new feature that they have released from Walmart looked interesting to you, and you tend to like that new feature, and then you want to try it, right? So that is competition always there and will be there. But AWS is definitely not going saturated, because they are the entrepreneurs and they will do anything possible to stay in the race. So in fact, I like AWS. I like, after Apple, in case if I have to rate somebody at that service providing level, it would definitely be Amazon Web Services. They're very innovative, they're unique in their approach, and they will definitely come up with new strategies. So I have Rajiv Sharma here. I have zero knowledge on computers and did graduation in civil engineering. Can I stimulate my career with doing cloud computing course? So like I said, Rajiv, I will relate your question to the point that I've talked about. Now, when you don't know anything about something, and then you want to start off with that, you have to consider yourself as a fresher, right? So cloud industry is giving multiple opportunities to freshers. Like I said, 60 to 70% of the slots go to freshers only. Okay, this is one thing. Maybe you come from a civil engineering background, but then whatever you do is irrelevant, right? But some experience will always be considered. You might have worked with your civil engineering projects, you might have dealt with your client expectations. You carry that experience, you add cloud computing to that profile. But one thing you have to do is you need to have a very good hands-on level, right? Nothing is rocket science. Where there is a will, there is a way. If you like cloud computing and you want to excel in your career into cloud computing, go for it. Don't think twice. Knowledge will never go in vain. It will come in handy, if not now, tomorrow. It gives you confidence. And when you have knowledge, there is definitely a way to earn. There are thousands of freelancing projects available in the internet related to cloud. You still can earn money. So Shabnaz, what is the difference between PG cloud computing and advanced certification offering by cloud computing? So like I said, post graduation is a course that any graduate can do. So if I am a graduate, after my graduation I want to add a post graduation certificate. The specialty can be anything. I might do post graduation in a different field or a different technology or a different aspect, right? Executive programs are something given as a professional balancement, right? You are a professional and you want to make your profile look better, right? You might already have done masters. Let's say there is no point somebody who is a master degree holder doing a PG program. Like, you already have that academic recognition added to your profile because you have done masters, right? So that sort of people, and then if you have to make their profile even look even more better, even more catchy, or maybe even more uh, good, so that they can sell their profile at a very high rate. So I suggest these people should add executive programs, because that way they have a lot of recognition. So PG program is nothing but any graduate can do right after his graduation, his or her graduation, to add a higher certification. That can be in an aspect or a technology or in one of their areas of interest. But executive programs are professionals who already are master degree holders, or people who do not worry about post graduation much. They are only worried about making their profile better, right? So they can go for these executive programs. And let me tell you, I can provide you more than 10 resources from Google. Both have similar academic recognition. So diploma and PG certifications are pretty much the same. Okay, so these things will carry forward some sort of an educational credits that will be added to your profile automatically by the education system, right? So PG certification, PG diploma, PG masters, this is all something that you do right after you are a graduate. Okay, but you are not worried about the graduation or the degree, and you are only worried about making your profile better, right? I want to showcase my profile in a better way, and then I don't want to just do a random training in a random institute. I want to do it with a renowned university by getting an executive program, right? So that is what the difference, I would say. So executive program is not a degree based program, but PG programs are a degree based programs, right? You are a graduate and you want to add post graduation after that, then PG diploma comes into picture. So any further questions? Shabnaz, Rajiv, anybody? Can I get more questions, please? But these are very interesting questions. Trust me, guys. Can I get more questions, please? So I would like to add one more point here, is that I've seen, I'm relating to Rajiv question, right? So I come from a completely a different background. Do I have to learn something related to my interest, right? So my personal suggestion to everybody, in fact I can relate to my profile too. When I've done BSc computers, I started my career into support and sales related, customer support related. But then the kind of work that I'm doing right now is completely off track. But what is that one difference that I have compared to what I was doing then and now, is the knowledge and the confidence that the current profile is giving me. So when you do something that you like the most, and then you are learning something new every day, and then you are catching the current trend of the technologies, on current demand of the technologies, you always feel safe, and you feel that yes, I'm in a safe zone and I can definitely make my career better, or maybe excel into the same career for a while. I don't have to think twice, or I don't have to look back. And then from there you keep on adding new technologies to your profile, and then you will never look back. So my suggestion is, if you like cloud computing and you want to start with cloud computing by excelling into cloud computing, go ahead and start with it. Knowledge will never ever go in vain. It will come in handy. It will get you returns. Okay. And the second suggestion is, when you have to invest wisely. Even if it's bit costly, invest on quality products and get the better returns out of it. These are my two suggestions. And in case if you have multiple questions around the program, we are available during the daytime. Please do call us. So the research problem in cloud computing 2010. So I got this from Mala Bhattacharjee. So Mala, can you be more precise? Can you elaborate the question? So research problem in cloud computing. So you're saying that the research says that cloud computing may not be good in 2020, 2021. Is that your question all about? So if let's say if that is the question, according to my assumption, there is nothing like it. Even the pandemic makes it even more better, because during the pandemic nobody wants to go with physical maintenance. They all want to go with virtual maintenance. For that, any company or every company have to end up using cloud services. There is no option. Even the pandemic, the current situation, I would say, makes it even more demanding for cloud computing. So that is my research. That's my research says. Any other questions, please? So I think we are on time. So I have one final question. I want to learn more about cloud computing. Good. It's a good decision. Go for it. Do not look back, Omar. Cloud computing is in very good demand. You should definitely learn. Whether you come from relevant background or you do not come from relevant background, you still can make career into cloud computing. So people are giving opportunities for people coming from irrelevant background also. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a very real life situation. Let's say I am Accenture and I need 50 cloud computing professionals. I need 30 experienced professionals in cloud computing, and I've been looking for them from past 2 months. I am not getting them because there are very handful of experienced professionals in cloud computing. I am not getting them. What will I do? I definitely prefer, even if somebody coming from irrelevant background but he has a good knowledge and he can fulfill my project requirements, I will definitely go for it, right? And that is the current situation. There are not many cloud experienced professionals out there. This is the time you learn it, you add the skill set, and you make career into cloud computing. Let's not delay, guys. Okay, so please do call us. We are available during the daytime. Our admission counseling team, we are happy to help you. And I thank everybody who have attended this session. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. I will read all the comments personally, and then we will respond back to your comments personally. All right. Thank you. Nice talking to all of you. It's a very good time. Thank you, guys.